It was the server was live for the new patch yesterday, but I wasn't really have time. I doesn't really have time to play it yesterday. So yeah, let's go and play the main story now. I'm pretty excited to play through the main story here, and we have the new character Mia. And set this up. Alright, looks good. Beyond Elysium. November 6 to December 18. Okay, let's jump straight into the main story. Before that, material first. This is very quick. And I'm done. Okay, main story. Quite a lot. Maybe no matter how hard I try, I'll never reach it. Even so, I choose to take the first step, to start running. Ah, that must be it. I started running because I wanted to reach that light. Oh, this is Mia. I thought it was us. Beyond, an endless sky unfurled. It was a view that needed no upward glance. One needed simply look ahead to see it. It offered no road to tread upon and no end in sight. Unlike those below, the people of New Hantero lived as if boundaries didn't exist. And yet, something still held them back. That very same sky, a barrier no one could break through, no matter how much they ran. In this Skytopia where all conflicts were said to be resolved, the problem that plagued the ground still persisted. A sudden gasp, and the girl let go of the paper plane. Its white wings traced a fleeting arc through the sky. Then it vanished, swallowed by clouds beyond the reach of sight, drifting down back towards the earth. I will try to read as fast as I can.
Just 1 month left till graduation.
Voiced it. The petite girl tipped her head back, puffing her choppy bangs away from her face.
Then it's back home to run the family convenience store for me.
Oh, that's new. This silhouette with different colors for different character NPC.
Huh? You're not applying for college. I'll bother with that if I even pass the exams.
What's this now? You're giving up already?
It's not like I want to. I really tried. Guess I'm just not the studying type. Not everyone can be like Mia, who aces all her tests while goofing off all day.
Oh, a genius.
Why, thank you. Wait, that wasn't a compliment, was it?
Busted. So, Mia, ever think about what you want to be after graduation?
Me? Oh, right! I'm gonna be a manifestation.
Aw, that means we won't get to hang out as much.
Wait a minute, is this after she met us or before? I think after, right?
Come on. Manifestation. She's clearly messing around. And I didn't mean professions. I meant the real question. Bionic or transcendent?
Yeah, you have to choose between the two.
Bionic for me. Can it? I wasn't asking you.
It has to be bionic. You live in the bionic district, right, Mia?
I said I wasn't asking you. And besides, just because you live there doesn't mean you have to be one.
It is so nice having them all voiced.
Transcendent sounds kinda nice too.
Ah, I forgot if when the game first released, was it voiced? I don't think it is voiced, but the characters, we do have voiceover for the characters during gameplay, like some snippets of voice line and also in English, which is really nice. But then it goes away after what, 3 months, 2 months? I think it's 3 months after that. Yeah, and the controversy and all. Anyway, let's continue.
Wait, you're leaning transcendent?
Maybe? Who knows?
Aw, maybe? Half the girls in class already know what they want to be, and you're still on the fence?
By the way, I really like Mia's character, and of course, her voiceover in the previous patch. Really nice.
Yeah, that's not like you, Mia.
Aw, if only you'd go bionic.
I told you I haven't decided yet. You're always like this, never listening.
Well, that's the kind of person I am. You two are the only ones who understand me.
Ladies and gentlemen, the H2 Pluma has arrived at New Hentaro Skyport. Thank you for choosing to fly with us. We wish you a pleasant trip.
So this is New Hintaro.
That's right, this thing in the sky floating far above the noise of the world. What do you think of this place, Haru?
Roger. Should I proceed with an assessment of the current combat environment?
Her response left me momentarily speechless. Truth is, I just wanted to hear what she thought of the place. But seeing her already in mission mode, I decided to let it play out for now.
The view's too open. Not enough cover. I expected defense systems on par with Midgard, but this is nowhere near that level. Though they may be using something more unconventional. Ah, I see. The floating islands. They're part of the defense array.
Sharp as ever, Haru. But what if you tried looking at the cities from a different angle?
Huh? You mean...
Just picture yourself as a regular tourist.
Understood.
She closed her eyes, like steadying her breath. Likely. A few seconds later, she slowly opened them again.
My first impression is just so vast, so open. More than I imagined. Standing here, it really feels like I'm floating above the clouds. And somehow, it calms me.
Now that's more like it. Remember, we're supposed to be a couple here on business.
A couple. Got it.
Okay. But why is she in her battle suit? She gave a small nod, lifting her arm with Scotty Department precision, but the moment her hand brushed mine, the motion softened. Her lashes lowered, the tips of her ears flushed pink.
How about this?
So cute. A quiet laugh escaped me and I felt her arm tighten with bashful tension. Gently I drew her into my arms. A shy, delighted sound slipped from her lips. In a heartbeat, the blush spread from her ears to her cheeks. Her forehead rested on my shoulder, her warm breath seeping through the fabric. A few seconds later, she drew in a deep breath.
Sir.
She slipped back to her old way of addressing me.
Close
Sir.
contact has triggered elevated body temperature and abnormal heart rate. Requesting 10 seconds to regain composure.
Approved. Approve. I answered half jokingly, then tightened my grip on her hand. To stay low profile, her and I dressed in plain clothes. I slowed my pace on purpose, hoping it might help her loosen up. Just as we were about to blend into the crowd.
Huh? Wait, is that the adjutant? Yep, definitely you.
Haru came to a halt and I realized at once, the only one person who talks like that. Mia, right?
Ding ding ding, correct. So, did you miss me?
Of course I did. Though, it's only been a week, hasn't it?
Hey, a week is forever if you're in high school.
That is
Summer
true.
break's only 6 weeks, you know.
That is true. When you become an adult, out of school, dude, time moves so darn fast. Anyway, I digress.
Don't tell me you actually forgot about me.
Sorry, couldn't resist teasing you a little.
So teasing me is the only thing you couldn't resist, huh? But why?
The fluffy ears on her head shot upright with a whoosh. She suddenly grabbed my other wrist, puffing her cheeks in protest.
Why can you resist touching me?
Okay, the loose strap dangling from her chest swayed wildly as she puffed herself up.
Touch her?
What the hell's going on? The moment Mia dropped that bombshell, Haru's expression froze solid. She clutched my arm so tight it actually hurt.
I see. So there are other girls here with designs on the adjutant.
Her voice stayed composed, but the blush creeping up her neck said otherwise. Mia, context matters. Touch me is really misleading when you just bend your ears.
Potato, potato.
Potato, potato. This girl, unbelievable. Mia smirked triumphantly as she leaned into me, right in front of Haru.
Besides, didn't we have a deal? That you'd only miss me and no one else?
Huh?
There was definitely no such deal. Haru could tell Mia was joking, but her fingers still tightened, wrinkling my sleeve. The manifestation who ruled every battlefield turned adorably helpless whenever it comes to me.
So why? Why is there suddenly another super gorgeous girlfriend clinging to you?
Super gorgeous
Suddenly?
girlfriend.
No, we've been together since long ago.
Maybe it was just my imagination, but when Haru still flustered, heard the word girlfriend, her expression steadied. But when Haru, still flustered, heard the word girlfriend, her expression steadied. She instinctively leaned closer towards me. She instinctively leaned closer to me.
Oh, and what about that promise, Adjutant? You said you'd elope with me next time we met. Wait a sec. Could this be it? A wild three-way runaway romance?
Hey, hold it right there.
Well, a threesome might be a bit much for me, but if it's with the Adjutant, I could be persuaded to experiment.
I really like her voice. So full of expression. That sentence had so many red flags, I didn't even know where to start.
Oh, and this lovely lady here probably doesn't mind either. I mean, you two must have done this kind of thing plenty already, right?
Is she doing this on purpose? Of course we have. As the adjutant's girlfriend and his blade, things like this are child's play to me.
Well, the different part made sense, but my blade? Not sure how that fits. The witch scrambled to her face, all flustered, was both endearing and hilarious. Time to properly introduce her to Mia. Once I did, Haru regained her composure. The blush that crept down her neck eased back to her cheeks. Still, she clung to my arm like a lifeline, eyes locked on Mia, completely on guard.
My bad. Couldn't help myself. Just wanted to bluff a little in front of this lovely lady.
Thankfully, Mia knew when to take a hint. She dropped She dropped the smirk and gave Haru a respectful nod.
Bluffing. Huh.
This may be our first meeting, but I can tell you and the adjutant are very close. And If I'm not mistaken, you're a manifestation too, aren't you?
Adjutant.
Haru glanced up at me, suddenly asking how to respond. Don't worry, Mia. Don't worry, Mia's someone you can trust.
Alright then.
She sighed and gave Mia a small nod.
Naruse Haru, manifestation of the Heimdall force. Pleased to meet you, Miss Mia.
Just so you know, Haru and I were teammates long before the Heimdall Force was even founded.
Whoa! So Miss Haru and the adjutant go way back, huh?
Yes. We've worked together for many years now.
Wow, I'm so jealous. You're not just a badass manifestation. You've also got this deep bond with the adjutant. Oh, you're so lucky.
But then was over the top, but the sparkle in her eyes showed it wasn't just politeness. She meant it.
Do you want to become a manifestation as well, Miss Mia?
Yup, I even submitted a formal application to the adjutant last time we met. I was so nervous, my heart nearly exploded. It almost felt like a confession of love.
A confession of love?
The corner of Haru's lips twitched, clearly unprepared for such a whimsical metaphor.
Oh, but don't worry, Miss Haru. My first confession was rejected by the adjutant right away.
Haru sighed, turning suddenly towards me under the guise of adjusting her bang, and whispered just slow enough for him to hear.
Her way of speaking is unconventional, but I can tell she's honest and sincere.
Yeah, very youthful. Yeah, and I can feel she really does have what it takes to be a
You mean-
manifestation.
Oh, right. Look at me, getting carried away with all that banter. Adjutant, there's something important I need to tell you.
While Haru was still processing, Mia's smile vanished, and her gaze became intent and earnest.
You're here undercover as tourists to investigate what happened in the Elysium. No, more precisely, to investigate what's been happening across all of New Hentaro, right?
Exactly.
Actually, I was there when it happened. I saw people getting dragged into the black hole before they could even log out.
This isn't the place to talk. This isn't the place to talk. I gave her a small smile and gesture for her to follow.
Huh?
She clearly hasn't expected me to bring her in so directly. Come with us, Mia. For a moment, her eyes darted between Haru and me, then...
Okay.
I see. Now I understand the potential you saw in her, Adjutant.
I don't get it. I mean, she's ready to go with us, I guess. Not long after leaving the port, we boarded the transport that has been arranged for us and headed straight to the base of the Tower of Hanoi. It is a lot emptier than I remember.
Not even security personnel are allowed near?
Nope. Ever since the black hole incident, the tower's been on full lockdown. Even routine maintenance is automated now.
Strange. The citizens seem calm, as if completely unaware anything's wrong.
Ganges told the public it was just a technical fault, that they were working on restoring the Elysium. But
not everyone's buying it, are
yeah, but even if some of us are starting to suspect, no one really knows what to do.
they? For once, Mia's smile gave way to something more
Ganges
somber.
sealed the tower off. No one's allowed near.
Genji? I always pronounce it as Genghis. Genghis? Or like Genghis. Genghis. How did she pronounce it again?
Ganges sealed the tower off.
Genghis.
No one's allowed near.
Genghis. Like a J instead of G. Genghis and not Genghis. Genghis. Okay. After a pause, she let out a wistful sigh.
Such a gentle, stubborn god.
Hish? Oh, what happened there?
Well, it wants so badly to protect everyone.
That is such
Yet
a
never
bad...
once lets anyone help in return.
That is such a bad starter. I hope my recording is all good. That was such a big stutter. That's an interesting metaphor.
Well, it wants so badly to protect everyone, yet never once lets anyone help in return.
I had to admit, Mia had put it into words perfectly. Unlike Karen or Edda, how is it again? Genghis. Unlike Karen or Edda, Genghis was built on absolute logic. Genghis was built on absolute logic, a mediated AI with no emotional module. Even if it could detect fluctuation in human feelings, it could never truly understand them. Empathy simply wasn't part of the design. Mia, if there really were gods, do you think they would save humanity?
I don't think so. Even if they wanted to, they couldn't.
Exactly. The one who can save humanity are humans themselves.
Access granted.
That was such a weird turn-off conversation. With a soft chime, the sealed gate slowly slid open. Let's go, Mia. Time to pay this stubborn god a visit. And here we are again. Ooh, who's this? At the center of the vast empty hall stood a petite figure. This is not the... I guess she's a transcendent? Who is she? She appeared human, but something about her told me she wasn't. As we closed the distance, she offered us ceremonial bow.
Allow me to extend to you New Hentero's highest honor, the Dewlight Salutation.
As she slowly lifted her head, golden hair cascaded down her neck like sunlight over a stream. Beneath her fringe, a pair of emerald eyes shimmered with intelligence. It was impossible not to think of Genghis. So, you got a new body, Genghis.
Apologies. I am not Genghis.
Yeah, right. Yet she replied, gentle and apologetic, quietly corrected my assumption.
I am a proxy terminal that it created. It is my privilege to serve as your guide for this investigation.
It's not Genghis itself, but a proxy. She bowed once more.
I sincerely thank you both for answering our request.
Anytime. After I spoke, she lifted her head, her gaze passing mechanically over Haru and me, before finally coming to rest on me.
You are... Miss Mia, is that correct?
Mia said nothing, she simply gave a small nod. She's with us, a last-minute addition.
I see. Then I will update the reception protocol accordingly.
Moments later, the proxy terminal's lips curled into a faint smile. Not a pre-programmed gesture, but something that felt genuine.
Thank you for waiting. Companion verification complete.
But the warmth vanished as quickly as it came. What she said next made us tense up again.
According to Genji's final directive, all companions of the adjutant are to be granted access clearance.
Final directive? What happened to Genghis?
Wait. Final directive? What do you mean?
Just that. The last instruction Genji's issued before entering a dormant state.
The crack of knuckles echoed through the silence.
I knew it! That technical fault story was just a smokescreen! We offer our deepest apologies. The truth is, we exhausted every known repair protocol, but nothing worked. To prevent the black hole from expanding, we had no choice but to place Genghis in a dormant state.
She drew a long breath and composed herself.
I will explain the rest as we walk. Please, this way. Our destination is the summit of the Tower of Hanoi.
The hem of a white dress swept through the air in a graceful arc. A low mechanical hum grew steadily louder, until a massive silver board descended with flawless precision and settled before us. The summit of the Tower of Hanoi was the highest point in the city, not just the closest to the sky of the real world, but also the virtual firmament crafted by Genji's, the divergent cosmos. Genji's computational powers always scaled in tandem with the fidelity of its simulated universe. The more precise the laws it modeled, the more powerful its computations became, until recently when a rift tore open within one of those celestial bodies.
My head, it hurts. Why am I here? It's getting closer. Is it him?
Whoa, this is way too high. Isn't there, like, an express elevator or something?
I'm afraid not. The Tower of Hanoi was never equipped with direct transport to the top floor.
So this is how you usually ascend? Using only a floating platform?
In theory, yes, but since Lady Kalpana's passing, no one has set foot there again.
And yet, because of Genji's has remained up there all this time, keeping a watchful gaze on everything below, hasn't it?
Like some goddess in the clouds, using the sky itself as the boundary between her and everyone else.
Mia's lips curved into a faint pout as she commented right in front
You
of the
misunderstand,
Foxy.
Miss Mia. Lady Kalpana's lifelong dream was to build a world where humanity could live in harmony. A society free from status, hierarchy, or class. New Hentaro was only the first step, and the furthest she could reach within the constraints of her era. One day, we will erase that boundary in the sky completely.
One day, huh?
Mia echoed the proxy's word thoughtfully, then turned her gaze away. Turned. She looked down at the
Mr.
shrinking ground
Adjutant.
below.
Since we still have some time before reaching the top, may I brief you on the current state of New Hentaro?
Go ahead.
Then, let us begin with the recent intrusion into the system.
She extended her hand and traced her fingers lightly through the air, and the familiar scene flickered to life in the holographic form before us.
During your first visit, Miss Urza's disruption of our defense systems created a brief opening, which Eda used to slip into Ganji's data center. Though the intrusion caused no immediate damage, it left an irreparable passage. Some of the simulation parameters responsible for upgrading the divergent cosmos were also altered in the process.
So this most recent attack, was that Eda again?
Not directly. We isolated the corrupted data early on, and surveillance confirms Eda made no further attempts to breach the system through that passage. However, more recently, the firewall was breached by a specialized Tytogen inhibitor.
Vitamin serum? The same serum we once used at the Academy Acropolis to suppress Eda could have affected Genji's
No,
as well
We
via
analyzed its structure. It's nothing more than an inferior derivative of the confinement serum.
the passage. You should go ahead, refuting my assumption.
Moreover, the injection of this inhibitor predates your use of the confinement serum against Eda. Which means,
After simulating yogurt, Eda must have reverse engineered the leftover serum traces and created her own version.
correct.
Her gaze returned to the floating hologram before us.
The corrupted data escaped containment, tainted our training data, and triggered a chain reaction. The core system began collapsing irreversibly.
So the black holes appearing in the Elysium?
They're direct indicators of the collapse. Black holes of varying sizes have begun forming throughout the divergent cosmos. To prevent further contamination,
Ganges was forced to suspend all non-essential processes and enter dormant mode.
But the corruption can't be purged. That's why the Elysium is locked down, isn't it?
Wait, what about the passage linked to Edda?
Rest assured, though the firewall was breached, the passage remains under full surveillance. Edda has made no further moves.
She got her hands full right now. No way she would divert by bandwidth just to hijack another AI's processing core. That said, something was ahead up. My eyes lingered on the black holes displayed on the hologram, then it clicked. The key lies in the cytogen inhibitor. It shuts down AIs like Yogan and Ada because they have emotion modules. Those emotion modules were built on top of early stage fragmentation tech. So why would the inhibitor affect Genjis too? Gaze lower. Miss Proxy, can you answer my question?
That is precisely what I intended to explain next.
I guess Genjis decided to start adding emotion into itself.
Wait, are you saying Ganges actually has emotions?
Not quite. While fragmentation technology is indeed linked to human sentience, Lady Kalpana never designed Ganges to possess a soul.
Then why?
It's a data center, isn't it? That's how Genjis achieved near infinite capacity and real-time adaptability without relying on large-scale physical
Correct.
data. Physical data? Darn it. Centers.
Unlike Edda or Charon, Ganges uses fragmentation modules as its foundational storage architecture.
It's simply the Virgin Cosmos is Genjis' data center, and vice versa.
Astute as ever, Mr. Adjutant. Precisely as Ganges projected, your analytical acuity ranks far above the norm.
A flick of surprise crossed her eyes, before she offered a small nod of recognition. Analytical acuity. You're too kind.
You have arrived at the top floor.
With a soft jolt, the levitating platform came to a stop.
Please watch your step.
Following the proxy, we moved through a narrow corridor about 10 meters in length. At the end, the space opened up, bathed in light, dazzling sight, stretching before us. But this didn't feel like the Starlight Hall. If anything, it looked more like a lobby of a museum. Rows of display cases lined the hall, holding strange and eclectic items. Eclectic means broad-ranging. Projectors like the one Nozomi once used, oversized electromagnetic weapons, and more. And yet, nearly every exhibit seems to fall into one theme: technology. This must be where Genjis displayed its creation.
The Starlight Hall lies deeper within. This way, please.
How did they use the word eclectic items? Holding strange and eclectic items. I tipped my head back and let out a quiet sigh. And right then, my eyes met the gaze of a surveillance camera overhead. Eventually, it hasn't been tracking us like it should. Its sensor seems locked onto something else. Only when I locked eyes with it did the camera suddenly snap back into place. Weird. A subtle unease crept in.
Huh? What's this?
The thought had barely settled when Mia's voice broke the quiet. She had stopped in front of a display case, tall as a person. At first glance, the item inside looked out of place among all the cutting-edge tech. It was a pure white garment, simple in form but far from ordinary. Beneath the light, the fabric shimmered with a strange metallic sheen, as if it were flowing, quietly shifting shape.
An exosuit? But that's nothing like what we use in Heimdall.
It's a custom design. Ganges modeled it after analyzing Heimdall's gear.
The proxy has been walking ahead, paused, and turned back to this display case where we stood.
But there aren't any manifestations in New Hentaro, right?
Correct. That's why it's equipped with a multi-tiered energy limiter that dynamically scales with the wearer's output. It also integrates core technology from the divergent cosmos, allowing real-time adaptation and continuous evolution based on the user's combat style.
Multi-tiered energy limiter.
Ooh, so it's armor even us normies could handle without frying ourselves? Precisely. In fact, it even enhances the wearer's control over Titagen.
Sounds like Genjis was trying to cultivate a manifestation of its own.
Following its contact with you, Mr. Adjutant, Ganges initiated plans to develop manifestations specifically for New Hentaro.
She didn't even try to hide it.
However, that initiative was ultimately discontinued. Huh? Why is that? The simulations produced troubling results. Over 80% of candidates exhibited varying degrees of mental aberration after gaining powers surpassing conventional human understanding. There is still no validated protocol to evaluate true compatibility.
So even Genjis, for all its processing power, still runs the wall it can't logicate its way around. I let out a quiet chuckle. Miss Proxy, you know, I've been wondering, when an AI that runs purely on logic searches for the optimal solution, does it sometimes overlook simpler answers?
I'm afraid I don't follow, Mr. Adjutant. Every decision Ganges makes is based on probabilistic models.
As with what you're doing right now. I came to a stop. Every move she had made felt intentional. The winding route, well-timed pauses, the truth revealed only under pressure. It wasn't guidance, it was orchestration leading us to this moment. The perfect juncture for her to reveal the full truth. With all the pieces in place, I gave voice to my deduction. Genjis might have reached a solution long ago, didn't it? But without me and the manifestation, it couldn't put the plan into motion. This whole joint investigation thing is just a front. Genjis is both a trusted partner and uncontrollable variable. That's why it had to draw us here into a space he had complete control over before starting the real negotiation. Silence again. No doubt she was running simulation on how to respond, but I wasn't about to give her the chance. So I was right.
As expected, Ganges' assessment was accurate.
The proxy let out a deep sigh. Her hand tightened on her weapon. She positioned herself in front of me, protected.
Even the smallest misstep before you risks exposing our true intentions.
But the proxy made no move, shaking her head as if abandoning the pretext altogether. I'm flattered. I gave a slight shrug, softening my tone. Rather than testing each other, let's just lay that out straight. Miss Proxy, unlike a purely rational AI, humans believe everything for the ones we care about, even if there's no optimal path ahead. The people in this Skytopia aren't just your responsibility. Many of them are allies I've trusted with my life. I intend to keep them safe too.
Understood.
After a brief pause, she moved her fingers through the air once again. Any projection shimmered into view.
As I mentioned before, the corruption is irreversible. Our only recourse is to wipe all data within the divergent cosmos and rebuild it from the original template. In other words, a full reboot.
So the question now is how to carry it out.
Correct. Since the divergent cosmos is a non-physical data center based on fragmentation tech, it inherits the core characteristics of that technology, which means it requires an observer whose consciousness serves as the template to reconstruct the divergent cosmos. But ordinary people, even manifestations, cannot withstand the fragmentation surge that comes with a full reboot, even when filtered through the dreamscape mechanism, which condenses the surge into an immersive spatio-temporal experience. The observer still has to undergo 10 years of subjective time to process it all.
10 years, alone in one's consciousness.
That is the refined estimate. When Lady Kalpana first brought Ganges online, she spent nearly 50 subjective years inside.
What?
Mia gasped, peacefully quiet. Even Haru usually composed brow furrowed.
But you, Mr. Adjutant, are an exception. In your confrontation with Rosen, your resilience under fragmentation strain far surpassed all previously recorded human thresholds. Based on our simulations, as an observer, you would require only about 24 hours of subjective time to complete the reboot.
You specifically say only 24 hours. Are you actually expecting the adjutant to risk himself like that?
As I mentioned, during your simulated confrontation with Rosen, your consciousness exhibited an unusual stability amidst the fragmentation surge.
Sorry, I was micro-sleeping. It's not good. Easy, Haru. I laid my hand gently over hers, tense, vigilant, then looked up at the blonde girl before me. Her expression was unreadable. These 24 hours, how do you count to that number?
The surge that would normally overwhelm a human brain instead formed stable patterns within your consciousness, what we refer to as the inner mind.
You know what? I think I will just... Never mind. Heh, sounds like you've done your homework.
Rest assured, this data is restricted to the top clearance level and kept solely on a secure physical medium. Like Ganges control systems, it can be accessed only by the observer who is granted top clearance. And now, we ask you to accept this role and the burden that comes with it. That is why we brought you here, the true purpose of this meeting.
She slowly turned and steadied her hand upward. A small card, edges gilded in gold, shimmered into being on her palm, as if waiting for me to take it and complete the handover.
The master key, the credential of the observer with top clearance. Though Tao's theories were once considered successes, the unspoken rule demanded that the successor's loyalty must lie entirely with New Entero. Of course, that rule's never hard-coded. Seeing as still hasn't reached out, the proxy lowered her head even further. Lady Kalpana believed that only humanity itself could bridge the gaps of the human heart. Therefore, I place my trust in you, Mr. Adjutant. I respectfully request that you extend your assistance once more to Ganges and to New Huntero.